going on, guys? It's Danny from Slow Restoration, and as you can see from that intro, the Infinity G35 is completely finished up as far as the wrap goes. It came out really good. That Gloss Pearl White from Avery is a really nice color, and it fits that car perfectly. So if you didn't see, it's an amazing transformation on that car so far, the wrap being the biggest. But if you didn't see the earlier videos of that car, we did do kind of a mini build. We did exhaust and brakes and stuff like that, air intake. So go back and check them out. But so the rest of this video is just going to be kind of the wrap process. Is not at all a step-by-step. It's kind of more of a panel by panel. I'm just going to kind of chop up the edits and just throw them all in there. So it's not going to flow real smooth. It's just going to be progress as we go through the car, through the different panels. So it's not going to be real smooth or anything like that. I'm not that good at editing. So we'll throw them in there. We'll roll that footage here. All right, we got some pretty good prep going on. We got the rear door handles off, tail lights off, spoilers off. This chrome trim piece is off. Once we got a piece cut for the rear door, we also got the gas lid off. All the trim is prepped. We did take the roof rail trim, whatever you call that, off both sides because it pops out real easy. We got a piece cut for the rear door. We got that all cleaned up. We're getting ready to install that. Once I take the backing paper off this, I think I'm gonna actually lay that on here, make some cuts around here to center it, and then actually mark the layout because the customer wants the letters and the Infinity letters and the symbol and the G35S reinstalled over top of the wrap. So we need to, we'll just make a quick template, make it a little bit quicker and easier to put back on. So let's get that door installed and we'll start moving forward on this. We got the top lock down up. We still have to finish off that edge, but we did get this door handle opening. That really wasn't near as bad as I thought it was going to be. Just kind of used my my finger to guide that through. Obviously in that round recess you can't really use a squeegee, so you kind of have to roll it around with your finger. Roof all wrapped. To get the antenna off, we need to wrap and put that back on. We got around the sunroof done, all these edges done, got it tucked into the windshield, got it tucked into the back glass, and we did get this quarter panel started. Of course the quarter panel and the whole roof bow is all one piece, so we are attempting to do that in one piece. We're able to get this side done, all squared away, all the edges done, trim back on. It's looking good all the way down, and we got this side laid on. Got it kind of squeegeed out there, laid down. Now we just got to go around, do all the edges and trimming, but it did go on pretty nice. All right, we're gonna prep our tailgate, or our trunk lid, not tailgate. We have our letters removed, and we have our 3M eraser wheel on our drill. And we're just gonna, let me get on this side, shoot that side. Just nice slow speed, and pulls that adhesive right off. We have it all cleaned off here. We wiped it down with some isopropyl alcohol. You can still see a faint line. If we were going to leave this like this, we would obviously have to buff that. But since we're wrapping over and putting the letters back on, I did make a template for this, but I think I'll be able to see there's just ever so slightly raised outline there. So it should be a good guide of where to put the letters back after the wrap is put over it. Got the trunk wrapped here. I'm going to wait and cut the spoiler holes out until I get ready to mount the spoiler. It went okay. This trunk lid was not, again, in very good shape. It had some paint chips and actually a little bit of rust on the edges. You can kind of see it through the wrap there. But it is what it is. It's on there. We're going to prep this bumper cover and try and get it laid out. It in everywhere. Looks good. On the front there is a rubber trim piece, so we were able to tuck behind that and roll it around. Everything worked out good. I will say, first, wrap process using this knife, it's definitely money well spent. A little bit of help. I got this bumper piece stretched out on there. It's looking pretty good now. If I can just get this spot here to gather up as we go, it's going to be a little challenging, and then getting it to go into this recess for the license plate. Probably should have did an inlay there and one up here, but I'm going to give it a shot and see if I can make it work. This back bumper was a little bit of a fight. I was able to get it on there in one piece. The front bumper cover off. We are replacing the bumper cover. This one had some damage to it, so they have a new bumper cover. It is in primer, and we're gonna leave it in primer. I'm not sure if I'll have to do some scuffing and sanding. The finish isn't the best. I did a test piece here just to see. We'll decide that right before we wrap it. This front fender wrapped. I got this one laid out. A little bit more smoothing to do than all the trimming, but it's really starting to come together. And again, this color is just amazing. Got this whole side done, at least on the top. So I have the door handles to do and the rocker panels. But here's my last door handle I need to do, the door handle opening. So we already did start it, but it is pretty neat to watch this tape shape. Goes in there actually really nice and easy. Sometimes it'll seal off around, you'll have to push on it to get that air to release, but it looks like this one might be sealed, so we'll push on it and it'll push a hole. You can see the top of that film just pop out, so we'll keep going with it and then we'll push it again. You can just feel the air creeping right out. It's just neat to see that take shape. We got that door carved out, all finished up, wrapped around nicely. We heat sealed the edges and made sure everything was wrapped real nice and clean. Now this whole side's done, just like the other side. We do still have the rocker panels to do. To wrap the front bumper, I got my material cut here, obviously, and laid out on it. I do have my fender stand here. We're gonna attempt to do it on the fender stand. It's fairly rigid, but it's still a little wobbly, so we'll see how that works. I have the vinyl laid down on there. It's definitely a little more difficult with one person, but we tried to hit this band here, glass that out. We'll work left and right and top and bottom from there. We were able to get this wrapped and on the car, so you can see it looks pretty good. Got a couple of these door handles done. I started with the back ones because they have no keyhole and no the little button you push to get keyless entry button. So these are the easier ones to do. Got that one, the other side done. Now I'm on the front doors, of course, and there's the hole for the keyless entry. And the driver's side actually has a keyhole in this little small piece. So get the rockers done, both sides. We did get the splash shields done all the way around. Spoiler, that was a big job. We got it done. Sorry I didn't record some of that, but I just, like I said, at some point you just got to get these jobs done, and it was definitely time to get it done. It looks pretty good. It's all one piece, and there's of course a seam at the bottom. This rocker done too, and the piece we just finished up is this antenna. I think it's like XM satellite antenna or whatever. Looks pretty good. It is one piece with a seam down the back. It laid down pretty nice. We tucked it up under the trim, and I think I really didn't have to use a whole lot of heat, if any, to get it to lay down. I will seal it up with some heat right before we put it on, but lay down pretty nice. So I think this is the last piece I need to wrap. We'll get this installed back on the roof there. Here's here's a new one for me. I had this car all put back together. We were also going to do an oil change while I was here. And as you can see, I did pull the fender liner back out of the inside of the driver's side. And that's because the hood wouldn't open, which sounds absolutely ridiculous. I opened this hood a bunch of times and then I shut it to check fitment on the front bumper and it would not open back up. So what happens here is some of the bolts, as you're putting the front end back together, are extremely close. They're extremely close to the same length, but they're a tiny bit shorter. And what that does, it goes through and the hood latch mechanism, as it pivots, hits that bolt and it will not release the latch. This side would release, this side wouldn't. So after a little research and pulling that back apart, I was able to reach up through with a wrench, turn it like a turn really, and that was just enough to where it released. So now we're going to drop this the rest of the way down and figure out what bolt that is and definitely change it out. You never know what you're going to run into when you do these jobs. Back under the hood here, if this ever happens to you, it is in fact, if you move this rubber out of the way, it is in fact this bolt. And the weird part about this is I did not have this bolt out. To get this bumper cover off, you have this one and this one. That one just holds this plate on and the hood latch. So I definitely didn't have that loose. There's one under here I had loose to get the headlight out. I'm not sure what happened. I guess just flex. I mean, someone definitely had this car apart before because it had a probably a light collision up front and or had the bumper painted. But as you can see from the bottom of that, it's all shiny. Yeah, that's the wrong bolt in that hole. Here's our finished product. I still want to wash this and spray a little bit of wax on it, but it does look like it's getting ready to rain. So I figured I better get it out here now and do a after shot. As you can see, it's got a really cool pearl. It is a little dusty, dirty from sitting in there. Quite a difference from what it came in as. Just do a quick walk around here. We got the emblems back on. The G35 to me looks a little crooked, but I did make a template and I think it's because of that cutout for that tail light. I think they did kind of, I don't know, it's the way it was. I don't know if that's stock or not, but there it is. 2007 G35S color change wrap complete. As you can see, it's a lot of work to do a wrap. That's why it costs so much when you have one done at a shop, because it's a lot of labor. You have to disassemble a lot of things, and just the wrap itself is a lot of labor. But big thanks to Pristine Auto Detail. They did get the windows tinted for us on that car. It looks, especially with that white, it looks really, really good. And they actually did the windows on the front of this color match to the rest of it. I think I put that in an earlier video, but thanks to Pristine Auto Detail. We have Scout running around out here. Also, big thanks to Ryan at 7 Wraps. He answered a bunch of questions on this car in particular as I was doing the wrap and had some questions. So we're really going to try and hook up with him and his shop. They do some amazing wraps and some very high-end stuff, way out of my league, but I hope to be able to learn from them and keep furthering the wrap process. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Have a good day.